Hello, I'm going to talk about expectations. This is about expectations that we have, expectations that affect our relationships with other people, with ourselves, and even with God. And that's what I'm going to talk about this evening, how these expectations impact our relationships with God. An expectation is our certitude about an outcome, what we are certain that is going to happen, what we think should or must happen. That's an expectation. Now, there's healthy and unhealthy expectations. Healthy expectations are based on facts and experience. Unhealthy expectations come from our preconceived ideas, our wishes, our opinions, our dreams. They are what we think should happen, must happen, is the right thing, the fair thing. And these are things that affect us, but it's only according to us, to our opinion. If we have an unhealthy expectation about God, just think of the problems that can cause us. If we have something and we expect it to happen and it doesn't happen, what happens? We feel hopeless. We may feel disappointed. We may get frustrated. It may even lead us to that point where we think that, well, this thing doesn't work. This thing about God helping individual people just doesn't work. Or he may help somebody else, but he sure didn't help me. Or we may not have enough faith. All these different things may go through us, and we may get very upset in terms of our relationship with God, all because of a wrong or erroneous expectation. Let's clarify a couple things. God is our spiritual parent. He wants us, do anything he can for us to help us with spiritual growth. But God is not Santa Claus. God does not keep a list of who's naughty and nice. He doesn't expect us to come to him with this list of what we want and these wishes and all of a sudden give us back these gift-wrapped presents. That's not what he does. He's not going to give us our way just to satisfy our self-focused, fear-driven ego to give us what we want. It just doesn't work that way. He's not going to interfere with other people's free will choice to make them do what we think they should do, to make them be fair, right, just, compassionate. He's not going to interfere with their free will choice to make them love us. He's not going to do that. He is not going to suspend all the natural laws or countervene those natural laws because of our poor choices. Let me give you an example. Let's say I go to the top of a 10-story building and decide I'm going to commit suicide and decide to jump off that building. And I have some faith. I've prayed. I've tried these things. You say, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay. And I go over and jump off. And then all of a sudden at the 8th floor, I change my mind. Oh, that was not a good idea. Change my mind. And I start praying as hard as I can pray. And I have all this faith that because I believe, I can tell you what's going to happen. My butt is going to be splattered on the ground. God will not suspend natural laws because of my poor choices. I face the consequence of my acts. However, had I stopped and prayed before I jumped, before I took the action, I would see results. If I had stopped even in a prayer of desperation, said, please help me see something different, something would have happened. Somebody would have walked through that door on the roof to talk to me about the ball game. I would have seen a sunset, something beautiful in the clouds, something that would resonate, would shift my mind. Or I'd have this insight come in, this thought come in that would shift my perspective, make me see things different, to give me the opportunity to change my mind. Because see, that's what often happens with this. God gives us the opportunity to do something. We still have the free will choice. We can still go that way or go back the way we intended. I can go jump off the roof. But he always gives us these opportunities. I want to say another thing for your consideration, that the sincerity of a petition guarantees access to the Father's ear. The spiritual maturity of the petition is what determines the time, degree, and manner of the answer. So if we want consistent, reliable, and repeatable results, we have to align our expectations with something that produces those results. So instead of talking a lot about all these unhealthy expectations that don't work, I want to talk about some that do work, the healthy ones. If we base our expectations on values, not things, growth, not gratification, request to help, to align our will with the Father's will, with God's will, instead of having him change his and do it my way, do it our way, we're going to get results. What are we going to find from these results? Well, there's going to be a few things. I just want to go over this. I actually made a little thing here because it helps us see it so much better. We're going to find strength, the strength that breaks the chains. This is the strength that breaks the chains of addiction, the bonds of alcoholism, the strength that can sever those ties, those bonds to self-righteousness, self-centered will, selfishness, all these self-driven characteristics. This is the thing that can break them. He's going to give us love. Love is a healthy expectation. That love to forgive, to care for others, that love that will melt our resentments. He's going to give us wisdom, the ability to make good choices, to administer mercy with justice, compassion with wisdom, and to help but not enable. He's going to give us a new power. This is the power that guides our minds. This is awesome, to give us the power to overcome adversity. This is a wonderful spiritual power, a real energy that can transform our entire lives. And as I said, these insights, this insight where I can actually, where we actually have this thought come into our mind and we see something different, we see a new outlook, something changes in there. And the other thing that we will find is a good expectation is courage. We can ask for courage to subdue fear, anxiety, worry. And we get these. We get these all the time because all these things are things that will help us in our spiritual growth. They are all internal to us. They are not affecting other people. It's all about us and our relationship and our power from our higher power, our divine creator, God. He will also give us the capacity to love, to love in the face of condemnation, forgive the unforgivable. He grants us the peace that passes all human understanding. He fills our body, mind, and soul with the security of a divine overcare, a tremendous sense of security, and an unshakable trust in our eternal destiny. These healthy expectations produce results. These results are predictable, reliable, consistent, and verifiable. Healthy expectations work. But healthy expectations are about us and our spiritual growth and helping us move past these defects or these problems that stand in our way for spiritual growth. But it always works. Reliable, predictable, consistent, verifiable. Healthy expectations. Namaste.